Hello, Facebook world. I am coming to you with the best thing that you will have seen that will change your life for 2020. I know it's only January, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm so excited to show you this. So I actually have been using this and posting stories about it on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because I made the most amazing meal last night. But I got a new cookbook, and I feel like a cookbook nerd. Hey, Tina, a cookbook nerd. Like, here's a fun fact about Amanda. I went to culinary school. Don't know if you knew that. I love to cook. I just don't like to meal prep. So, like, cooking all day on a Sunday sounds awful. Making chicken and rice and, like, some vegetables and putting it in one of those little containers, not for me. Like, you can save your containers and your chicken and vegetables, because I just like variety and I like to mix things up. Joanna, I'm seriously talking about this cookbook. Like, you have changed my world. So Joanna shared this cookbook with me and I've made, I think, 6 things from it. They've all been delicious. They've all been so good. But it's called Cook Once, Eat All Week. By, there's like food on it, Kathy Joy Garcia. But you guys, let me just show you this. So here is why I love this over like the traditional meal prepping. So what I hear from so many people is, what do I eat? I don't know what to eat. I don't know what to eat for dinner. I don't have leftovers, or I want variety and I feel like I'm making the same spaghetti, tacos, pizza, whatever, every single week. And recently, since going gluten-free and dairy-free, I've had a lot of people in my life, right? You attract what you're doing, come into my life who are doing dairy-free, gluten-free. So this cookbook is amazing if you have allergies, if you have kids who can't do gluten or dairy, if you are doing paleo, if you are grain-free, if you're egg-free, like any sort of free from your life, this cookbook is amazing. So she gives you substitutions for everything, but here is what I love. It's so simple. So there's 26 weeks of meals, and each week is like based on 3 ingredients. So like every week there's a starch, a vegetable, and a protein. You can obviously like switch out the protein. So if you don't eat chicken, you could do pork. But it's awesome. So this week, the 3 ingredients are, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see all of these all week, pork, cabbage, and potatoes. And then it gives you, this is how awesome it is. Oh, it gets so exciting. It gives you, and I think this is probably backwards, but I can post pictures in the comments after. Gives you what produce you need to buy, what meat you need to buy, and then what items you have in the pantry, and then seasonings. You guys, I only had to buy meat and protein yesterday, and then there was like a couple of seasonings and things that I needed to buy that I didn't have in my pantry. But for the most part, it'll be dinners and lunches for us for probably 4 days, and I want to say it was like $85. Plus I bought like creamer, and I bought eggs, and I bought some other things too. So as far as like grocery budget goes, it's like way easier for me to do this, and I've been saving doing this. But she gives you what to prep. So like if you do want to have a prep day, you could like bake your potatoes, you could mash your potatoes, you could make your meatballs, you could shred the cabbage, you could cook your pork. So that way when it comes time to cook dinner, you only have to like throw things together. So I want to show you what I made last night. And sometimes this doesn't show me comments. So you guys could definitely be quiet, but I want to make sure that I am not missing anybody's comments. Last night we made egg roll in a bowl, which I know for you keto people is like, you guys do a lot. What I love is every recipe has a picture. We eat with our eyes first. So every recipe has a picture. Hey, Mindy. And then tonight I am doing Swedish meatballs and mashed potatoes. So today we had egg roll in a bowl for lunch, and we actually have some for probably lunch tomorrow. And then look at these for Taco Tuesday. A chorizo potato taco with cilantro lime slaw. So good. But here's what's amazing. I chopped all my cabbage yesterday for last night's dinner and the tacos. I cooked all of the pork for last night's meal and the tacos. So when it comes to tacos tomorrow, literally all I have to do, since I already baked the potatoes and cooked everything, is chop up the potatoes, season everything, and then put it on a taco shell. So what's cool is prep time tomorrow is 5 minutes, and cook time it says 15 because you have to heat everything up. But I have 15 minutes that night to cook, and I know a lot of us have 15 minutes to cook. But what I love is I don't feel like I'm eating out of a container, or like that I'm eating chicken and rice every single night. The only thing she doesn't have is macros. So if you are like ketoing or you are counting macros, you would have to like input the recipe and figure that out. But I don't do that anymore. I just eat and make sure I'm like getting enough protein and fat and carbs and like eyeball it. It's so good. The recipes have been so good. So I'll tell you some things that we made. One week I did week 1, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna start with week 1, which was shredded chicken, broccoli, and rice was like the main ingredients. And the recipes that we made with that were, say we, Brandon did that, definitely not cook, he did the dishes, was a barbecued chicken and rice casserole, which was really good. And I like ease. So on the chicken ones, or there's some shredded pork ones, you can literally put your chicken in the crock pot, like on high for 3 hours, and then shred it. And you have shredded chicken for all 3 dinners, which was super easy. A white chicken chili, and then chicken and broccoli fried rice. So what I love about this cookbook is it's not, like, everything is not a casserole. I feel like sometimes if you are in like massive meal prep, you do things that are easy, like crock pot dinners or casseroles. Sometimes I get bored of those. So I want to switch it up. But they have like sweet and sour chicken chow mein. They have red curry acorn squash soup with crispy beef. That sounds really good. Italian beef rolls with vodka sauce, rustic beef squash. So you would just have to figure out, like, if your family doesn't do beef, you could just substitute it with chicken. If your family doesn't do pork, you could just substitute it with ground turkey instead of ground pork, like yesterday. So last night, all 3 days were called for ground pork, but I did 3 pounds of ground pork, and then I bought 2 pounds of ground turkey because they didn't have any more ground pork at the store. Kind of weird, but they didn't. So I just mixed it all up. So we kind of have like a turkey pork combo, which makes it pretty good. But this has been life changing. So if you have kids, if you work full time, if you love cooking dinner for your family, and if your kids feel loved when you cook them dinner, this cookbook will change your life. She has an Instagram too. It's I'll put her Instagram over here. It's Fed, and this is her Instagram. But a lot of these recipes haven't been on Instagram. Last week was good too. I'm trying to think what I made last week. Last week I made a Korean beef bowl, and that was really good. Forget what else I made. Oh, I ate week 8, 112. Because you guys ever get sick of eating the same thing all the time? I do. And I have a hard time sometimes being creative, or I'm too creative and I can never recreate it because I'll just cook with whatever I have in my fridge and my pantry. But last week, Brandon approved of all the recipes. He said they were really good. This is a barbecued mini meatloaf with carrot fries, and that is bacon and barbecue sauce on top. Those little meatloafs and that carrot meal, I did the macros. I want to say it was 450 calories for my dinner, and that was for 1 meatloaf, quite a few carrots, and then I actually added Brussels sprouts. We had a taco casserole, which was also really good, and I think that was around 400 or 500 calories a serving. So I've been putting these into my fitness pal so that I can just track them and I have them for down the road. And then this one I highly recommend. This was a Korean beef bowl. So it's just ground beef. There was an egg. There's a recipe for the pickled carrots and then rice. And then this up here was like a sriracha mayo. And that's something I never would come up with or I never would make. So it's been kind of pushing me outside of my dinner comfort zone. But it's also been fitting in with just my dairy-free, gluten-free, and my weight loss goals. So I highly recommend this. If you guys get this cookbook, tag me when you make some of the recipes. If you guys are watching the replay, make sure you hashtag replay because I want to know if you're going to get this cookbook. And let me know when you get this cookbook what your favorite recipes are. So far, my favorite recipe that I've made is that Korean beef bowl. And I will say that Brandon's favorite recipe is probably the barbecue chicken and rice casserole because really it's like cilantro rice or cilantro broccoli rice on the bottom, shredded chicken tossed in barbecue sauce on top, and then bacon. And then you bake it. And it was really good. I would add probably onions and some jalapenos. But it was so good. So if you're a cook, get this and tell me how you love it. So I figured I'd come on and share the wealth because I think it's $20 on Amazon, but it's totally worth it. And this is like one of those cookbooks where I'll probably cook or try most things in there. Do you guys ever feel like you have cookbooks and you make like one thing and then you put it in the cupboard? That was me. I probably have like a bajillion cookbooks in the cupboard. So I figured I'd come on. I'm still rocking that gluten-free, dairy-free life, except I will say when Carrie and Randy, I blame them. When they were here for conference this week, we went to the Baked Bear. You guys ever been to the Baked Bear? If you haven't, you need to go. It's an ice cream sandwich place. I definitely had French toast ice cream. That was my cheat day. But let me know if you get this and let me know what you guys think. Have a great day.